the latest people to complain about William Ruto's governance, poor leadership, and other problems, it is the church leaders who are now coming out strongly to speak against the government that they gave us as Kenyans. They campaigned for William Ruto. They went to various places. They welcomed them, the UDA people, and gave them the platform. They campaigned there. They convinced their congregants, and they voted for them. Now, to be specific, Reverend Werimu just came out and started speaking against the government. He said that this is not the government of God. Don't forget that this is a reverend or pastor or bishop who has been preaching for Mama Rachel now and then, because she is a member of that church. So therefore, it is a statement that has weight, saying that it is coming from a podium where Mama Rachel worships, and many other politicians indeed. So therefore, the question that developed in my mind, is it when they are saying that the government is not the government of the people and not the government of God as well? Is it when they are realizing that Kenyans are suffering, or the government is a wrong government we have as a country? Well, I'm asking so. Before I take you through that, kindly, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. The reason why I'm asking, why is it that it is now they have realized about this government, it is this. Since William Ruto came into power, there's no single serious project that has been accomplished, and there's no single promise that William Ruto made has probably smoothly achieved. So therefore, let me just start first before I take you further. Let me start with what happened just after William Ruto took power. We had demonstrations called by Raila Amolo Odinga based on the high cost of living that William Ruto caused immediately came into power. The cost of unga went much higher, cost of sugar, the cost of fuel, the cost of cooking oil, basic commodities in this country, actually even the cost of electricity. Then Raila Amolo Odinga called for demonstrations, Kenyans going to the streets. In the demonstrations, Kenyans were killed. I remember a person I know from Maseno, a boy was shot right in his head, died. I know one in Nairobi, who was hawking ice cream, shot actually until his cap was just left in the street. People died. In Kisumu, we had actually Kenyans, youths, attacked by the police, beaten, some of them maimed. Actually, most of them ended up dying in hospitals, and that some of them at home. And up to that level, reverends, Wairimu, and many other reverends in this country, and bishops and pastors, are not seeing that this was a wrong government. Despite the high cost of living, up to that level, these people had not seen that this was a wrong government. As if that was not enough, Kenyans went ahead to protest against the against the finance bill 2024. We went to the same churches and asked the congregants that please tell our MPs, our fathers and mothers, to vote no against the finance bill 2024, which is the legislative role. To vote no because it is the message of the people. We went ahead to go to demonstrations, not just one, two, but so many of them, until 25th June, the climax, where we had youths shot dead in the streets of Nairobi, particularly around the parliament buildings. During this time, the church leaders up to that point, they had not seen that this government was not a government of God. They still thought or knew it's a government of the people and a government of God. Don't forget that we had Finance Bill 2023, which most of the Kenyans across the globe said no to because of the kind of punitive taxes that were being introduced there. Now, another one was added. That was Finance Bill 2024, and Kenyans rejected. The church did not see the problem in either of the finance bills until Kenyans came out. Even after Kenyans were killed, they went to State House and got lunch there, while Kenyans that died are still in the streets lying there. Up to that point, the church leaders are not seeing that this is not the government of God, and this is not the government of the people. They still knew it's a garment of God that they gave us as church leaders. During the protests, we had abductions right, left, and center. We had killings taking place. We had illegal arrests. We had police with masks coming in the streets and killing youths, others capturing them, arresting them around anywhere, some of them in front of their families. And up to that point, still, the church leaders did not see that this is not a government of the people. As if that was not enough, the cost of living kept on increasing. But still, the church leaders did not see that. They called it a government of God. I want to relate the case of Rigathi Gachagua to the church leaders. Rigathi Gachagua always felt that Mlima inaguzwa when it's being touched. He always felt like the interest of Mlima has been touched when his own interests, personal interests, have been sabotaged. But when the people of Mlima are complaining the issues to do with cost of the milk, the milk production, tea, coffee, and any other farming activity there, roads actually, when they were complaining of any of these things that is not okay, he didn't feel that the government was touching Mlima. It was doing something wrong. It was okay. But the moment he felt like, I'm in danger as Gachagua, now he started crying and telling, don't touch Mlima and such things. Now the church, until Pastor Dorcas cried, the wife to Rigathi Gachagua, which is their friend, belonging to the same group of leaders in the church. Just after she had cried is when they felt, okay, this is not a government of the people, because this government has touched them. This government has touched them. Could they have reached a point where at least they also fight for the common mwananchi? It could be good. Most of these church leaders are damn rich, driving expensive cars, living in lavish areas, wearing expensive clothes, things like sheaf, people not able to pay for the cost of fuel, cost of electricity, cost of education, cost of many other things in this country that has gone up. They didn't feel that was necessary until they have been touched as a church. One of them is crying on TV because of the husband who has been impeached. Until that point, the church leaders didn't see that this was not a government of God. I'm foreseeing a scenario where people will stop listening to the church leaders. Considering the scenario where we have most of the Kenyans are now youths. Youths who are informed, able to read minds, able to see and differentiate things. It's going to be tough for them to be convinced in the churches, simply because the churches have become egocentric. Church leaders have become egocentric. They do things to benefit themselves. They feel that they're the superior ones, while the Kenyans are suffering. I don't know what is your opinion about this, but please let me see it on the comment section, and kindly keep on subscribing, liking, and comment, because that's the best support you can always give me. Thank you so much for those who have supported me. I'm now at 1,800. Please join me in the journey to 2,000 subscribers as we move further. See you next time for more videos. Please keep following.